want to ask about the mind games though. So like, because you've done mad races, right? So you're doing what you said you did. You ran for 4 days. You did 2 hours of sleep, 2.5 hours.
Aye.
What does that do to your psyche? Like
that was actually one of the easier races I've done. It wasn't a race. It was like an FKT.
Let's look at the ones of like
that one was actually quite easy to do because
I'm
like
just keeping an eye not to move the camera by accident.
I did because I did that one with somebody else and it wasn't a race. There's like no.
You're just running for fun?
We literally did just. I know it sounds mental, but we literally did just choose to do that for fun. So there's actually, with the exception of time we gave ourselves like the 96 hours and we wanted to like set the FKT. That one was just really fun and like there was like we had a van, a couple of my pals in it, and then like every 8, 9, 10 hours, or however long each section took you. You would then see them and you'd jump in, make some soup, you'd have a wrap, and it was actually a lot of fun in a weird sort of way. We did other stuff like that, like we ran the West Highland Way up and down and tried to do it in like 24 hours, and we did like, what was the Scottish National Trail, it's like the top left hand corner of Scotland all the way down to the bottom right, but it's all trails and all hills and stuff. And then actually like the really fun stuff, the stuff that's difficult and the stuff that's hard, like mentally, is like the races when you're on your own and you're having a hard time. It's actually more difficult. Like one of the most difficult races I've probably did was probably one of the shorter ones, and it was like 53 miles or something, and like literally everything that could have went wrong. Like it was brutal. Yeah, I think I'm still suffering with like some sort of trauma for it, man. It was like horrendous. Like I was 17 minutes. There's like this cliche, right? Never try anything new on race day. But I'd been away with work for months, and I just kind of wanted to know, like, can I go away with work and can I train to get and still be on the point that I can run an ultra marathon? And so there was like this race, and it was like 6 days after I got back. And like,
so you're not training for this?
I had been training, but on a treadmill.
Right.
Normally booting trails and hills, and you conditioning yourself to the conditions you're running on. But I was just on a treadmill and doing like shuttle sprints for like months and months. And I came back and like, but while I was away, like all these new kind of fueling strategy kind of stuff had come out with all these like drinks and electrolytes and all these kind of foods and stuff. But like my brother's like, listen, we've been using all this tailwind stuff and all this, and it's brilliant, and I've got you up some drop bags and all, because I never had time to organise any of this. I was like, right, cool, man. So here's me running along as a wee cliche with all this new stuff on race day, and I got to just before Bamaha in the West Highland Way, and I was like, I've not drank anything, and I just grabbed this flask and I sank it all down because I knew I was behind in my hydration. And almost right away, man, like I just felt my stomach go like, I don't like that. And that was it, man. It just snowballed for there. But I got to Bamaha, but maybe 20 minutes later, and I'd done the toilet. I'm trying to be dead polite, right? I fucking pissed shite out of my arse. It was brutal. It was horrendous, man. And I was like, oh my God, that's horrendous. So like, I then like got myself all sorted out and I got all my stuff and I was like, right, well, thank God that's done. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I need to go again. So by this time I got to like this public toilet and like I was fucking exact same thing. And I was like, right, I need to get going. I'm falling too far behind here. Because you're always looking at the clock, aren't you? And long story short, for the next 14... No, actually probably longer than that. For like the next 20 miles. For about the next 20 miles, I literally had to shit every 20 to 25 minutes. And I mean like that stomach cramp kind of like, it was horrendous. My stomach, see when your stomach flips and then you're like running loads and you've basically drawn all the blood away for it, and it just, there's no getting it back and it just gets worse and worse. But like I was so determined to try and finish this race, but because I wasn't taking any fuel on, everything all started to cramp and get sore. So I was like, every 20 minutes I had to stop and then I had to crouch down to like just
unload.
Just whatever was coming out of me by this point. But then with crouching down, that was like making my quads like proper cramp. And I don't mean like, oh, I've got a cramp. I mean like somebody stabbed you with glass. Ultra cramp's different, right? It's like brutal. because you don't stop, you just keep it. It gets worse and worse and worse to the point it just can't get any worse. And so then you're getting like these mad cramps. So I was then spending about 10 minutes trying to like just run it out and just trying to get my body moving again. And then 10, 15 minutes later, I had to stop again, do the toilet, the cramps come back. Oh, it was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And that went on for hours and hours. I remember I got to the 26 mile mark, right? So I'm roughly about halfway, and I'm like, I'm hugging a tree to hold me up, and I'm literally sweating, my stomach's cramping, my legs are in agony, and I was like, people flying by me like, you alright, are you alright? I was like, I'm fine. I'm about closest to crying I've been as an adult, right, in my entire life. And I was sitting thinking, and it dawned on me how absurd the World Ultra Running was, because I'm sitting thinking like, in my head I'm telling myself, you've only got another marathon to run and then you've got this in the bag. But there's another part of my brain going like, if this was like 7:45 on a Monday morning, you'd take the week off work if you felt this bad. It's crazy, man, like the two parts of your brain collide. But like I got to about the last 50 miles or whatever it was, and like I ended up hiding off the trail on this rock, and I actually ended up on all fours down the toilet, and what came out of me was just evil. It was like I gave birth to this black, oily, I don't know what it was. Like to this day, I'm not sure if I maybe lost like a wee bit of an organ or something. I don't know. I'd done it all fours, and like I could see down, and that was the only position I could then go by that point. My legs were so bad. But whatever left me was good, because it just turned a corner, and then I could start actually eating and drinking stuff again. And I got to do the last 12 miles of race. Agony. Absolutely agony, man. Just totally depleted, hydration, electrolytes, fuel, whatever. But I was moving again. And what you need to do is, like, see, whenever it gets tough and like whenever you're struggling, like you start off with like an A goal. And like a lot of people, they kind of, and this is, I don't know, this is like life, not just running, right? You start off with your A goal, and a lot of people, like something happens that their A goal's not going to be achievable, so they just fuck off, don't they? They're like, fuck, I can't do it, there's no point, it's so terrible. But then like, if you can just keep like that perspective and that context, and you're like, right, okay, this is my situation, just fucking accept it, find a B goal. And get motivated.
Recalibrate, yeah.
That's it, just recalibrate, man.
No, I'm a big believer. I think a lot of people, there's a mindset of like, if you're gonna do something, do it properly, or if you gotta be the winner, you gotta reach your goal, whatnot. And that's good to some extent, but life throws shit at you, sometimes literally, right?
Or you throw shit at life.
And if you actually, and basically I'm a big believer now of like, you know what? I count every single thing. Like, if it's more than 0, it's a win. Even I count the effort as a win.
Aye.
Like, so I look at it like every single step I take, that's one win after another win after another win, because it's more than nothing, right?
Aye, that's ultra wisdom there, man. That's it, man.
If you look at it that way, it's a lot easier to keep going, and you kind of go, well, I can either say I tried to reach this big goal and I failed, or I can say I tried to reach this big goal, but I got really I got the closest to it as I could.
Aye. Progress.
Aye, like it's just, you count those little fucking...
It's the inches that make the miles, isn't it? It's the inches that make the miles. But that, it's kind of like... It's kind of weird, man, because like the whole stand-up comedy life running thing, like all the lessons are like interchangeable, innit?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask...